back to the channel, and for today's video I'm going to show you a unique Mewtwo VSTAR deck list that you probably haven't seen yet. So let's hop on to the deck list and I'll show you what I am working with. Alrighty, so here is the deck list. Now you've seen Mewtwo with Shadow Rider, you've seen Mewtwo with Solrock and Lunala, you've probably even seen it with the Fusion Strike engine. So I wanted to showcase a Arceus version of this deck. Now, I know what you're saying, Arceus is broken, of course this deck works, and you're not wrong, but I have a few key points as to why I picked Arceus as my pairing for Mewtwo VSTAR, and why this is probably my favorite list as opposed to all the other Mewtwo variants. So let's take a look at Mewtwo VSTAR first and see what it does. So Mewtwo VSTAR is the new VSTAR from the PGO set, and it has 280 HP. It has the attack Psy Purge. For 1 Psychic and 1 Colorless, you can discard up to 3 energies from your board, and depending on how many energies you discard, you can do 90 times that. So at max, you're doing 270. So 270 is good. It's a really high number. It is a little awkward because a lot of V-Stars, as you can see with Mewtwo, has 280 HP. So you will need Choice Belt to KO things like the Arceus VSTAR, to KO Palkia, to KO Dialga, things like that. And we also have the VSTAR Power Star Raid. For 1 Psychic, 1 Colorless, you're doing 120 to each of your opponent's Pokemon V. Now, this is the reason why I put Arceus VSTAR in the deck, because having Star Birth is probably a better VSTAR power to use as opposed to the Star Raid. I have the Arceus in there to use Star Birth instead of the Star Raid and just focus heavily on the Psy Purge. Now, another reason why I play Arceus is because of the spicy tech that I have with the Mewtwo VSTAR, and that is the Gardevoir with the Shining Arcana ability. Gardevoir is really great and it pairs really well with Mewtwo VSTAR because the Shining Arcana ability allows you to look at the top 2 cards of your deck and then attach any number of basic energies that you see there to your Pokemon in any way that you like. And if you don't hit any energies, you just draw those cards into your hand. So not only is it a great draw engine if you can get multiple Gardevoirs in play, but it also is a great way to accelerate a lot of energies to your board. That way your Mewtwo can just discard them and then hit for its max potential. And it also is technically an out to Miltank because Brainwave is not a bad attack as well. For 3 colorless energy, you're doing 60 base damage, but then 30 for each psychic energy attached to this Pokemon. So if you see that your opponent is playing Miltank, just power up a Gardevoir instead and then just swing in with those Gardevoirs. So Gardevoir is really great. It has a bunch of utility to this deck, and I really like it as its core engine. I did try a version of this deck where it was just Mewtwo VSTAR and just Gardevoir. I even had the new Glade with the Buddy Catch ability, which allows you to search your deck for supporters. So I tried that version of the deck. I actually really liked it. For 1 whole week, I was testing it out, seeing if it worked, and it actually was doing amazing. But then for some reason, this week, as I was starting to record these matches, it just fell apart. Like PTCGO was brutal. I got bossed every turn. I got Marnied into brick hands. I whiffed some things like Choice Belt or Energy, so it was just a hard time. That's why I just kind of revamped the deck, put Arceus in there, and it just made more sense. It actually started being a little bit more consistent, and you also have a different attacker as well. Now we are playing the Radiant Hawlucha because of the fact that if you have a Choice Belt on the Mewtwo, you're hitting for 300 base damage, and then if you're going up against the VMAX, you're doing 330, so you are knocking out VMAXs, which is really great. So you have a lot of options. I am playing 1 Pumpkaboo because you don't want to get turn 1 Path to the Peak, and then Fog Crystal also can pull out Pumpkaboo. So it just makes sense as opposed to playing Stadiums. You could play Stadiums in the deck, but I find it to be a little bit more clunkier. So 1 Pumpkaboo is all that you need. We are playing 2 Energy Recyclers. Energy Recycler is such a good card in this deck because once Mewtwo discards a lot of energy on your board, you can use Energy Recycler to put up to 5 basic energies back into your deck, and then that skews the probability of energies versus other cards in your deck, which means that when you use the Shining Arcana ability, you have a higher chance of getting those energies back onto the board and then consistently recycling those Mewtwo attacks. So it is really great. We also play 2 Rod as well. Rod allows you to get back Pokemon, obviously, but it also allows you to get basic energies back. So you can really pump your deck out with a lot of basic energies and then just use Shining Arcana over and over again to get those energies onto the board. Now here's another spicy tech. I do play 1 Cheryl because if you think you're going to get hit by an attack but not get KO'd, you can use Mewtwo's attack to discard the energy on it and then just use Cheryl to get rid of all the damage, and then use Gardevoir to power it up all over again. So Cheryl is really great to make it so that your opponent whiffs those knockouts and, you know, saves you from losing 2 prizes. I really like this version of the deck. The Arceus does make sense. It allows things to flow a lot better, and Starbirth just lets you get those combo pieces so you can get those Gardevoirs in play pretty early on and just start getting those Mewtwo's attacking. So let us hop onto the ladder and I'll show you some of the matches that I got with this Mewtwo Gardevoir deck. All right, we lose the coin flip, but that means if we do get Arceus on the rip and double turbo, we can hit and power up some things. But it would be nice to get a Mewtwo in play in order to, you know, actually power something up. So my opponent excuse me. My opponent is going to be going first. Now it looks like it is a Rapid Strike box, but what could they be playing? They could be playing Rapid Strike Malamar. No, they have Dark Energy, which could be a good amount of things. Now we do get the Trinity Charge, but it's not really relevant here, and I kind of don't want to do Bird Keeper at the moment. So I could just go Trinity Charge, power up the Arceus V, and then Bird Keeper later. That might be best. Yeah, because then we can V-Star power, grab ourselves the Mewtwo, and then hit that way. So I am going to bench these 2 Ralts. I don't think that's too bad. But we can go Trinity Charge, put just 1 energy onto the Arceus, and then just call it there. I do like that. I like that it's not just bench Pokemon V, it's actually all Pokemon V, so you can, you know, set up for a play like this where I do have the V-Star in hand. Now they could Marnie me out of this hand, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but it wouldn't be amazing either. I think what I'll do though is I would like to use the Bird Keeper though. If I do get the V-Star Starbirth ability, they have Tower of Waters. Okay, so no Pat, that's good. But if I do get the V-Star, I could go for Gardevoir and Mewtwo. I might just go Gardevoir Research and then try and get a Mewtwo that way. I think that's definitely the better play. Because then I can go Gardevoir, do Rare Candy into the on the Ralts, and then I can just try and get a Mewtwo on the bench so that when I do Trinity Nova, I can just start powering something up. Still no idea what kind of deck this is. A Dark Rapid Strike Pokemon? It's probably Dark Urshifu. Yeah. It's just Dark Box Urshifu. So we do need to be careful. Yep, there's the Urshifu, because if they do get an attack off this turn, I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to do 100 Furious Blows. Unless they do like E-Switch. They could. Okay, so they could attach Rapid Strike Energy. No, they just attach Fighting Energy. Okay, this is still scary, but this is actually really nice because the Mewtwo covers the Arceus weakness, right? Arceus is weak to Fighting, but so they're only going to hit for 60, that's fine. Yeah, Arceus is weak to Fighting, but Urshifu is weak to Psychic, so it still works out, right? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go V-Star Power, use the Starbirth to grab myself a Gardevoir, and do we have Research in the deck? We do. Okay, so I'll do that. I think that seems fair. We can go this route. I can go Rare Candy onto the Gardevoir. I might actually just save this and do the attachment here. Why not? And then we can just go Research, get rid of this, and then draw into some cards. We got the Mewtwo, which is fabulous. I don't want to bench the Ralts, so I'm just going to hold off on it. Let's do this first, Shining Arcana. We hit 2 energies off the rip, which is actually really nice. I can go 1 energy here and probably another energy on the Gardevoir. And then what I'll do is not put the Choice Belt. Is the Choice Belt relevant? I literally just only need to take out 2 energies on a Mewtwo to attack and knock out an Urshifu VMAX. So let's just save the Choice Belt. I could put it on a Gardevoir, and then that could also KO an Urshifu. So let's just go ahead and do Trinity Nova, knock out the Drizzile, and then what I'll do is actually maybe put 2 energies on a Mewtwo, just save the other ones. I could thin out the deck, that could also have been a play. But I think I'm fine with this. We do still need to try and find ourselves a Mewtwo V-Star, and we just get it off the rip from the prizes, which is actually really good. We have Boss in hand, so if they do elect to not attack with the Urshifu, we can just boss it up. But they do have the Tower of Water, so they can freely switch. I did think about playing Stadiums in this deck. You could put Path of the Peak, because after you use Starbirth, Path of the Peak is actually fine. Now they could do Gmax Rapid Flow, hit this for 150 and then hit the Ralts. That's not a bad play. Or hit the V-Star. But we just KO this pretty easily. So they will knock this out. But they don't have an Urshifu on the bench, so I'm fine with going this route. I have Cheryl in hand. So if I wanted to be ballsy here, I could play the Cheryl and then try and see if I can get an attachment, but I think I'm just gonna hold off on that. Let's actually use the Quick Ball, get rid of the Ralts, and then grab myself another Mewtwo. I think that seems okay. And then we can go here. I can do energy attachment to the Mewtwo or the Gardevoir, either one. I'll do the Mewtwo. We can go Shining Arcana, we get Choice Belt and Double Turbo. That's not amazing, but it's fine. And then we can just go V-Star. And then all we need to do is, because we hit for weakness, if I do 90, it's 120, yeah, I think I just need to discard 2. So let's go Side Purge here, discard 2 energies. Yeah, this seems fine with me. We discard 2, knock out the Urshifu, hitting for 360. And then if they knock out this Mewtwo, that is totally fine. If they're going in with another Urshifu, they can only do realistically Strafe unless they do like a Galarian Moltres E-switching combo. But we have the Ultra Ball, that's great. We can grab the Mewtwo V-Star if it's in the deck. And then just kind of run it back, do it all over again. If we have to, we can even attach the Double Turbo energy to attack, so that's a potential play, but then we'll have to discard all 3 of our energies, which is not a problem in this deck, especially since weakness is on our side. They do have Hoopa, but Hoopa doesn't apply weakness, so they'll hit for 90. That's fine, I'm okay with that. But they won't take a knockout, which means I can still attach the Double Turbo. I could even go Cheryl here if I'm getting really ballsy, but I don't want to Cheryl unless I can guarantee an attack. Oh, we have the Evo Incense. I didn't even realize I had Evo Incense in hand. So let's do this and go grab the Mewtwo. Plop that down. And you know what? I might... What I'll do is I'll go Shining Arcana. See if I grab an energy. I don't. Okay. So we will have to let this Mewtwo in the active die. Unless I go Research. Nah. Because if they hit for 90 again... What am I trying to play towards? Maybe I shouldn't have benched the Arceus. That's actually a terrible play on my part. I could attach the Double Turbo. I'm gonna say they don't have an attack next turn. Let's do this. I'm gonna attach the Double Turbo to the active, and then for me to knock this out, I will need to discard 2 energy. So I'm gonna go Side Purge, discard 1 and 2. And that's a knockout on the Hoopa. And then we just need to take one more prize. They'd have to go through a Mewtwo and the Arceus in one turn. Now that I think about it, they could, theoretically, if they had another Urshifu, I definitely wouldn't have benched this Arceus, because if they had another Urshifu, wow, I feel like I'm speaking so fast. If they had another Urshifu, and it was a VMAX, they could have bossed up the Arceus V and then hit this with the Gmax Rapid Flow, taking 4 prizes in one turn. So that was definitely a misplay on my part. What would they Clara for? They could go for another Hoopa, hit this for 90, but then we just kind of go in with another Mewtwo, I believe. I think that's fine. And if we whiff the freaking energy, I can just still research and pretty much go through most of my deck. I might actually do that just to make sure that I get this knockout. Is I'll probably do research. I'll go Quick Ball and Ultra Ball to thin the deck out. But I think that's, I feel fine. They have quick shooting. Okay, so they'll hit this for 20, but that's not too relevant. Yeah, they'll Soul Gate, knock out the V-Star, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. We'll just promote the V-Star, the Mewtwo V-Star. And then we get the energy attachment, so that's fair. We can go Side Purge, discard all of our energy, and then hit for 270, taking our last prize. Yeah, so that one is actually a good I didn't even realize how great this pairing was, because Arceus is weak to fighting and fighting is weak to psychic, so Mewtwo covers Arceus's back. And it's really nice because Arceus is always the front runner, right? You're always trying to lead with Arceus, getting your board state set up, and then once they bring out their attackers like the VMAXs, you can go in with Mewtwo and really efficiently take out prizes. I kind of wish I could showcase the Cheryl in that play, but I didn't want to risk not having an attack on a Hoopa. So, all right, looks like we're going first. Could be another Psychic deck, which will be interesting. Now I show off that I'm playing Arceus VSTAR with Gardevoir, so that is some information for my opponent. Whether they use it or not, that's up to them. We get double Ralts in play, boss, and a bunch of Fog Crystal, so we can at least get Mewtwo, but this is not looking great. Let's see what my opponent is playing. It could be Mew VMAX, right? And we have answers to Mew VMAX. We can hit for 330 damage with the Hawlucha. No, it is Shadow Rider. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna bench the Ralts, go Fog Crystal for the Mewtwo. We have 2 in the deck, so we have all of our Mewtwo's, we have all of our Arceus, and then we have our V-Star, so that's good. Let me check on Rare Candy. So we have all 3 of our Rare Candies. Just double checking, making sure we have all of our goodies, and then we can go Mewtwo, bench Mewtwo, attach, and pass. Okay, they can go Shadow Mist here. Can't play any special energies or stadiums. Haha, joke's on you, I don't play any of them. They discard a boss. That's actually great. Okay, this is a traditional Shadow Rider with Alcremie. Now this is fine as long, I should have checked to see if Hawlucha was in the deck, that's my bad. But if Hawlucha's in the deck, then we can knock out Shadow Riders with Choice Belt. But if it is not in the deck, we could be in a little bit of a pickle, because they can definitely get set up pretty quickly. And if they do, then they're consistently getting high damage on the board. They got all 4 of their Shadow Riders. Chill, bruh. Chill. If I do Confusion, that's not really doing anything. I can go Ultra Ball to grab myself the V-Star. Let's do that. I can get rid of a boss. And then let's go ahead and grab... Oh, Hawlucha is in the deck, so that's good to note. We can go here, drop that, go there, and then go Marnie. Marnie does spit out the Arceus V. We have Evo Incense as well, so those are some good things that we can use. I can go do this. I can attach the Choice Belt. I could Fog Crystal, but I might save it. Evo Incense can get me the Gardevoir. So let's just pass. Because what I can do next turn is I could Evo Incense for the V-Star, use the V-Star power to try and grab Hawlucha. They're just gonna go Shadow Mist here, which is interesting. Okay, so we just get the V-Star off the rip, so that's nice. What I could do is I can go Bird Keeper, go into the active, grab... Well, I still need Hawlucha, so let's do this. I'll go here. I can go Fog Crystal, grab myself another Mewtwo. How do I play this? I have Evo Incense for Gardevoir. I just need a switch. I could attach energy and switch that route. I do, well, technically I don't have to hit this for full damage, right? If I just hit for 210, I still knock it out. So we can go this route. I can go attach energy to the active. We can go retreat. And then I might save the V-Star power and just see what I grab here. If I go Side Purge, if I go Star Raid, I can actually hit this whole board. But I think I'm just gonna go Side Purge here, get the knockout on the thing that has energy, and just discard these 2 energies. And then knock out the Calyrex V. Okay, so this is not too bad. And then we'll just take 2 prizes here. That does skew our prize trade a little bit. We'll still have to knock out a VMAX, but then we can also try and target this Crobat. The fact that they put Crobat means that they need to evolve these Vs. And Bird Keeper was even prized, so we'd have to grab like Switch and something, so that feels a lot better. They're gonna attach 2 energies onto the Galarian Moltres and then switch. Okay, so they're going with this, which means they're gonna try and knock out a Ralts, which isn't terrible, and they are finally going to get their VMAXs in play. So this is nice. What I can do here is attach energy to the Arceus, go Bird Keeper, put it into the active, grab DTE and Rare Candy so that I can start drawing with the Gardevoir. And then I'll have a pretty decent board set up. I have Air Balloon on the Crobat, good to note. I got Scrapper, ooh. Now I believe I played 3 Choice Belts, but I'll have to check to make sure what's in the deck. But if they don't attack, we could be in a pretty good position here. They don't. Okay, so this actually can fix our prize trade. We get another Choice Belt, but I might elect to save it. So I'll go this route, go Bird Keeper to put that into the active. We got the Gardevoir. I could even just grab 2 Rare Candies here, and that will definitely help me. And we got... oh no, I can't attach the DTE. So what I'm going to do is actually do that. I'm going to go grab Starbirth for double Rare Candy. And then just power up with my Gardevoir. So I can go Evo Incense for another Gardevoir. And go Rare Candy, Gardevoir. Rare Candy, second Gardevoir. And hopefully we can hit at least 2 energies. That is a big ask, so let's see. No energy there. That's upsetting, but it's fine. And 2 energies? 1 energy. Okay. What I'll do is I'll put this onto the Mewtwo. And I could bench the other Arceus. I don't think they're gonna knock out this one. So I'm just going to pass. Now here is the funny thing. If I can get lucky, right? They hit this Arceus for potentially not a knockout. If that does happen, I could, and they just pass. Okay, so we're doing pretty well here. If I can grab Boss, that would be amazing. So let's go Shining Arcana. Nope, just Rare Candy Marnie. And I don't want to Marnie them because it looks like they are in quite a spot. I can go Energy onto the Mewtwo. Yeah, this seems fine. I don't necessarily want to get rid of this whole hand. We do have another Ralts Gardevoir play, so I might as well use it. I can attach the DTE to the active, and then let's just go Trinity Nova here, power up our bench. So we knock out the Galarian Articuno, which puts our prize trade back in our favor. So I can go 1 energy here, and 1 energy here. And let's see, what's the best route? I think I can put 3 energies here. If we do whiff the V-Star, or if the V-Star is prized, I don't think it is. We do grab Boss off the prizes, so that's where our Boss was. We can pretty much win. The only problem is I needed that bench space for Hawlucha. I didn't think about that. So maybe I shouldn't have benched the 3rd Ralts, but this is fine. If they do knock out the V-Star, that does open up my space to use the Hawlucha. So actually, I'm kind of hoping they do knock out the Arceus. If they knock it out, that would be great, because then I can go and try and find the Radiant Hawlucha. If not, then I can always just swing into the VMAX with the Arceus and then swing in with the Mewtwo. That's totally fine too. We're 3 prizes ahead, so we can give up 1. And we do grab the Hawlucha off of this, which is really nice. We have 4 energies in the discard. At this point, we can just start swinging with Mewtwo's and then just see where it goes from there. They only get 3 energies on 1 VMAX. So let's see, they're doing 90, they're doing 100 damage, which isn't crazy. Yeah, so they'll hit for 100, okay, another 30, so 130. Yep, so they'll hit for 130, not a knockout. And then all we have to do is, do we need a rod here? I do want to use Energy Recycler, but I definitely need to keep this. I do need to keep this Hawlucha if I want to get a one-hit KO, but I mean, it's not that relevant, to be honest. I'm gonna go ahead and just go Ultra Ball. Well, let's see what this Gardevoir gets us. Evo Incense, that works too. So we'll go Evo Incense, grab the other Mewtwo. That way we have plenty of attackers. I mean, I could even just switch the Arceus, just so that it forces them to have Boss. And I can hit this for a fresh 300. Yeah, I might do that actually. There's no need to give them any prizes here. So I'm gonna go ahead, switch this, get rid of the DTE because that's not needed anymore. We can go Choice Belt onto the active, and then just go ahead, because then if I could discard the energy off the Arceus, then I could potentially go in with Cheryl and heal it all up. So we can discard all three of these energies, hit it for 300, which is not knockout range. Now they could retreat this VMAX, in which case all we need to do is search for Boss, because we know it's in the deck, we got it off the prizes, and then that will be all that we need. Now for them to knock me out, they're hitting 130 at the moment. They have potentially three more energy, so 4 in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 240, 250. They're gonna be hitting for 250. If they put Choice Belt on, they can get a knockout, but yeah, that's all that they have. So all we need to do is just go Energy Recycler, get a bunch of energies, and then they just concede. Yep. So that was pretty good. My opponent did have some slow starts. They did break a little bit here and there, but hey, that's happened to me too. It's the nature of PTCGO. Sometimes a really good deck can just, you know, fall short for a certain amount of times. I don't know what I'm saying. Sometimes decks don't do as good as they're meant to do. So that's going to be it for the video. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of this deck list. Now, there are many different ways that you can play Mewtwo V-STAR. Personally, I really love this engine and I really love this deck list. Now, like I said, I did try it with just pure Gardevoir and Gallade, and yes, that is a viable deck as well. It's just a little bit harder to get set up, and yeah, it can fall apart really quickly. But if you can get it set up, it is a strong deck list to be sure. So that's why I added the Arceus in it, just to make it more consistent, get those Gardevoirs out pretty early, so that way you can just constantly get attacks with those Mewtwo V-Stars. If I were to make any changes to the deck, I mean, I could potentially put a Raihan in the deck. You could add stadiums like Training Court or Old Cemetery, but I don't think they're that necessary or that detrimental. So try it out for yourselves. Let me know down in the comment section what kind of spicy tech cards you would put in this deck list. If you liked the video, then hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you guys so much. We hit 100 subscribers this week, so I am actually baffled that I was able to hit this milestone before the first year of me starting this channel. Thank you guys so much for the comments on the videos too. They've been so nice and super helpful, so I cannot appreciate you guys enough. I wouldn't have been able to get this far without you guys. So that being said, I am going to try and post 2 videos every week. I don't know when exactly. I need to work around my schedule to make sure I can record and edit those videos, but when I do, I will do a giveaway on the next video that's going to drop. So if you don't want to miss out on a giveaway for some Pokemon Go set packs, then ring that bell to be notified for when my next video drops. That is going to be it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the 100 subs, and I will catch you guys later.